Shayna. I'm so excited today because not only do I have one guest that you've already met, which is Jenny, but I also have my second guest, which is Alexia. So I'm gonna have them join me right now. Today, we're actually doing bows. So you can see my bow and then you're gonna see their bows. And I'm so excited, here we go. And bows. So bows are my favorite because they're so feminine. Like, you're not gonna get more feminine than a pink bow. I went with a red bow if you wanna go a little bit more dramatic, but pink bows. So excited.
Our bows are hitting.
I know, they're really big. They're definitely like, I am wearing a head covering, like very in your face. And it's something that I like though, because it's not just simple, it's saying I'm wearing a head covering and I'm proud to be wearing a head covering. It's a very dramatic statement. So if that's something that you wanna make, this is how you do it. How do y'all feel about big pink bows?
I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it at first, but I really like it now, so.
Jenny described this one as the Minnie Mouse bows, and that made me even happier because I mean a Minnie Mouse. All right, so we're gonna get started. So you notice one more thing is we did from full head covering, so you can tuck your hairpiece in, to a half. Alexia, tilt your head forward. Her hair's here, but you can't really tell because it's wrapped all the way around. Jenny's is a half head wrap, so her hair is still down, but it's covering a portion of your hair. So this gives you the opportunity to decide, you know, am I going to wear a full head wrap or maybe I want to do a partial? It works a lot of different ways. So we're gonna start with the partial going into the mid and then finally the final. So here we go. All right guys, so here we go. This is the head wrap that I'm using. It is a rectangle. It's one of my favorite summer colors. It's only one-sided though, the other side is not dyed. So I take it and I'm gonna fold that part in and in half for this head wrap. So you'll fold it in half. If you were in elementary school and they said hot dog versus hamburger, you will now know what I'm talking about when I say fold it like a hot dog. So once I have it folded, I'm gonna take it and pull it behind Jenny's head and make it nice and tight. And adjust it just a little bit so that Jenny can see. And I'm gonna take, you can take them like bunny ears like this. Oh, actually take it on this. And I make sure to pull it nice and tight. Because if it's not tight enough, what'll happen is this knot here is gonna just fall down in your face. And it's not gonna be tight enough and it's just gonna look ridiculous. So you have to make sure that it's really tight. Do it a couple times until you get that tight feel. And once you got it nice and tight, you're gonna take that bow end and just spread it out. So it creates this nice, big flower feel. And then, Jenny, will you look at the camera? This is what it'll look like. So you turn to the side and the back. That's what it looks like all the way around, but it's absolutely my favorite. I mean, oh my gosh, Jenny, you look gorgeous. Oh, tell me how you feel about this bow as it is right now.
I feel very fancy.
Yes, that is a good point. If you're going to like a super nice event and it's Christian or you want to wear a head wrap or whatever it is, you can do something like this with a nice material and it's gonna create a very fancy feel, which is also really cool. So if you wanna feel fancy on a daily basis or if you wanna feel fancy at a really nice restaurant, this is how to do it. All right, thanks Jenny. And the next person joining us is Alexia. So this is my dear friend Alexia. This is the first time you're meeting her, so I'm just gonna spend a few minutes with her. Tell me a little bit about when you started head wrapping and how the journey has been.
So I first started head wrapping because you actually gave me 2 head wraps as a Hanukkah present. And from there my interest kind of grew. So now I have a couple more than I had originally and I've started doing more and more styles. And so this has really been good for me to be able to start like actually implementing new things and trying new things that maybe I wasn't comfortable with before, like this one.
That's awesome. So Alexia is gonna do this one on her own. I'm just gonna be here if she needs assistance. But she has naturally curly short hair. So for any of you short-haired ladies out there, this is the perfect head wrap for you. So pay attention. Okay, so one thing I wanted to note before we throw on this head wrap so you can see how it's done is Alexia's band. And it might be a little bit dark to see, but she has this little, is it rubber?
Yeah.
A rubber band. And it's kind of what we talked about originally when we did Jenny's first video, like a bobo or that velvet. This is a cheap way, like DIY version of doing that.
It's true.
So you want to explain a little bit how that works?
Yeah. I just put the headband in before I put on my head wrap, only because the hair is really small and it'll peek out, and sometimes you have nice, you know, face framing hair like Shayna has, and sometimes you have little wavers that would like to say hello. So in this case, I like to try to keep them back and away from my face. If I want to do it intentionally, I can, but for the most part, I try to just keep it back. And the best way for me to do that, that's like you said, cheap, is this headband. So that's how I do it. Like we did with Jenny's, we're gonna take a full rectangle length head wrap, and we're gonna do hot dog style. I'll fold it nice and lengthwise here, maybe. This is why Shayna is here for my assistance.
Just in case, you know. Sometimes you gotta call in your reinforcements, whether that's your kid, your husband, or your girlfriend.
Here, hold this. I need a third arm. Okay. So then you're gonna take it, just like we did with the last one, in half. Okay. So you're gonna take it in half. This is a little trickier to do with short hair, but I promise if you stick with it, you will get it. So you're gonna start from the back and wrap forward. Thank you. Yeah, the hair does like to stick out. Okay, so you do your tie. Up nice, and the nice thing about the headband is it gives you like a good spot, like a good frame of reference to tie at. So you know, oh, this is where I want my bow to sit because this is where my headband's sitting. So it's not just, you know, hanging out. So whichever side's longer, these are pretty even, so we don't really have to worry about that.
That's solid.
Whichever
Turned out nice.
Whichever side is longer, you typically like wrap around if you did not learn the 2 bunny ear ways. But since they're pretty much even, I'm just gonna go for it. And it's a lot harder to do without a mirror, friends. Okay. And then this is where I'm gonna let you adjust because I can't see my.
So this is a good, like, how to fix a few issues.
Yep.
The first of which is she got her hair caught in her bow.
Ooh.
So you can you're either gonna take your bow out and redo it, or you can just shove it back in. We're just gonna shove it back where it came from since I'm here. And then with her bow, make sure that it's nice and tight, because otherwise, like we said with the other one, it'll fall out. And these are gauzy materials, so you can't get them as tight as that stiff one that we just did. But once you got it, you just take it and you're just pulling out. So there's 2 things also. If you have a super long tail, you can always just tuck it back if you wanted to into the center of the head wrap. So when you look forward, you just get that bow part so it's not as much in your face, or you can take it back down, just let it flow. But that's what it looks like. You even have some cute little curls. I love your curls, man. So that is the almost full. You still have a little bit of hair on top, but head wrap. I love it. The next one we're gonna do is mine, so you get the full one, and Alexia is going to assist me with this one since she's already here. I'm gonna take my hair in this mid-length, and I have my scrunchie if you wanna go for the 80s look. Or you can just take your hair tie, and I just take it into the back, and I do a little low bun, just back there, and I put my scrunchie so that it's ready to go. And then I have my bangs, and they'll just hang out. I'm not too worried about them. Like what you do with the first 2 with your head wrap, you're just gonna leave it full size. I'm not going to fold it. I'm not gonna do anything with it. And I'm gonna take it, whatever side my tag is on, I usually put that towards the back, not towards the front. And I'm just gonna cover my head. I am gonna leave it really far forward, so it's gonna look kind of funny at first, but because my hair is straight right now, it's super soft and shiny, and it slides. So as we tie it, I'm gonna leave it forward. So I'm gonna take it, and you come behind, and I'm just gonna hand it off to Alexia. She's gonna tie it like you would the front bows, but just in the back. Do it a little bit tighter. Perfect.
Is that okay?
Yes.
And now we're just going to do our bow in the very back. So I always take whichever song is longer, and that's going to be the one we wrap around, which is always hard to do because you get used to one way. And then the other way is trickier. So
sometimes you got to do it twice or 3 times.
or you hear me.
It takes a lot of practice, for sure. It's like, and even when you've been doing it for a long time, there's still days where it's super frustrating and you're like, why isn't this working? But you'll get it, I promise.
Okay, so we do it like we did at the other ones, nice and tight, and then we adjust.
So I'll turn around so you can see the back. So what the back will look like. So it's definitely like a party in the back. And for the front, I usually will just take it and adjust it and tuck some of that like side so it's nice and like tight. I like it tighter on my face. And I'll just take my face framing pieces and bring them out. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorials with all 3 bows. Please give them a try and comment down below how it worked out for you. Or if there's something that you're confused about, just let me know. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.